Hey there everyone, this is Victor with VictorVectorJKU. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to go into a more detailed cleaning on your Armorlite floor system for the JKU. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so in one of my last videos I went through a quick rough cleaning and removal, as well as identifying some of the leak paths in the Mesa Smoke Armorlite floor system for the JKU. I didn't go through all the detailed process of how to actually get the floor mat really clean. I was just mainly going through doing a quick cleaning because I knew it wasn't going to go back into my Jeep. I didn't really care to go through all that detail in that video, but I've had a few questions come up and I wanted to make sure that I was answering those, and I also spoke with Armorlite and I got some details on how we're going to go about doing that. So, speaking with Armorlite, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be using that same bristle brush that I used last time. I also have a sponge just to help up with some of the wipe up if necessary. And then we're just going to use some basic Dawn dish soap, and that should be able to get this stuff pretty well cleaned up. I also have a hose hooked up that I'm going to spray this stuff down with, get it wet first, and we'll just kind of scrub it and get it back to looking new. So, from what I heard with talking with Armorlite, they said, you know, just a little bit of soap's all you need, and that should bring it back to basically a like new look. So, we're going to go ahead and get into that today. I'm going to show you guys my process, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start off with first doing a quick look over of this stuff. So, I got all my liners set out right now. I'm going to be working in the sun today. It's a little bit toasty, but it's okay. That'll help it dry out a little bit quicker. So you can see on the driver's side front floor mat, we do have a bit of dirt that kind of got into the nooks and crannies. There's a little bit of a dusting still. It's not a stain, it's just some dirt that's kind of residually stuck into the plastic. But once we get the soap and water and scrub it, it should come right out. A little bit, not nearly as much on the passenger side. You know, obviously I'm in the driver, so there's going to be more traffic in there than a passenger. And the passenger rear, if you remember, this was pretty dirty last time versus the driver rear. Doesn't really have a lot of dirt there, but we'll go over it anyways. And then there's just a little bit of a dusting too in a couple of spots on this rear liner as well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to clear this stuff all out of the way here, and I'm just going to focus on doing the front liner first. Alright guys, so we got the front driver liner out right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do, and I also have my scrub brush, my Dawn dish soap, my sponge, and my hose. Got the water on, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to first go ahead and wet this down, and then I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning it. So Armorlite said we just need a little bit of soap, so what I'm going to probably do is I'm just going to drizzle a couple of drops here and there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub it in. So let's see how it goes. And so yeah, I'm definitely not worried about the liner getting wet, or I'm not worried about the polyester underneath getting wet, because I'm going to be able to leave this out in the sun today and tomorrow and let it just dry out really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of drops here and there on this guy. Alright, with that, now we can go and rinse it out nice and good. Alright, so that should do pretty good for this guy. So far, it definitely looks like we got pretty much all of it. Looks like I got a little bit more right here that I need to maybe scrub just a tad bit more. I probably didn't get quite enough pressure in there, so we'll go and hit that real quick. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So yeah, I think the first time through when I was hitting there, I just didn't get quite enough pressure on it. Just because, you know, I'm floating in the air right now. I don't have a good structure like the floorboard of the Jeep would provide, so we'll go and let this guy sit off in the sun for a little bit. I'm going to move on to the next, move on to the passenger side now. Alright guys, so we're just going to do the same thing here again. We're going to repeat this for all the pieces. I think the first one I noticed is just up a long ways. You really need like 2 drops. Alright guys, so again, so far with just being the quick rinse out there, it looks like it is very clean. So one other thing I'm going to do here real quick guys, just to make it so it goes a little bit quicker for everything to dry up, I'm going to grab my microfiber cloth. I'm just going to wipe up all the surface water. That way it really dries quickly. And I can show you guys the results when I'm done washing all the pieces. That way, I'll have to do it tomorrow. That shows how that turned out once it's dried out. Alright, that wraps up the rear liner, the rear seat liner. Go ahead and get a quick dry off real quick. Alright, last up is the cargo liner. Alright guys, we got the floor liner all cleaned up, and man, it was getting hot in the sun wearing this black t-shirt. I was dripping down sweat there for a little bit. I still am sweating a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but still sweating a little bit. So I moved my Jeep out of the way so I could pull the floor mats over here so we can do a quick high-level look at them. So let's go ahead and get into it. So up on the driver front floorboard section, you can see this guy cleaned up pretty darn well. Really, I am very pleased with how well this cleaned up. There is still just a little bit of a light dusting of dirt that's kind of down in the grains a little bit here. I don't know if the camera's going to show it very well, but right here, and then also just a little bit here and here. Now, maybe if I put a little bit more time and a little bit more scrubbing into it, it would get really clean. But, you know, I am really satisfied with how clean this ended up getting. Because honestly, when I'm out in my Jeep, I'm going to be tracking dirt, mud. You know, I live out on a gravel road, you can see. So I'm going to be getting in and out of my Jeep all the time. And I'm going to be tracking dirt, mud, gravel, sand, whatever into it. So for me, I don't ever expect to have an immaculately clean, perfectly brand new black looking floor system. And honestly, if you ask me, that is pretty darn good. And then if you look over the passenger side, equally cleaned out really well. There's really, you know, there's just a couple of spots that there's a little bit more dirt that's just in the grains a little bit. If I went in there and scrubbed a little bit more, I'd get it out. And then similarly in the back, you can see it also looks very good. Again, just little bits of dust or a little bit of dirt just ingrained in there in a couple of places, but really not too bad. And if we look back at the cargo liner, honestly, this guy's probably the cleanest. There's a little bit of dirt right here, but it's, again, this is very clean for how it was beforehand. So, all right, everyone, so that's going to wrap up the detailed cleaning of the Mesa Smoke Armorlite floor liner system for the JKU. What do you guys think of it? You think it was pretty reasonable? I personally did, and I'm very happy with the results. What do you think? So like Armorlite said, you know, it's a pretty simple cleanup. A little bit of soap, stiff bristle brush, some water, get you right back to a like new look for this floor liner system. You know, that thermoplastic top layer provides a good waterproof, water repellent layer that also is easily cleaned up with a little bit of soap and a little bit of scrubbing. Now, I wasn't originally planning on going through all of this extra cleaning on this system, but because you guys asked for it, I thought, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's show you what it truly will look like if you go through and do a true cleaning on this. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video with a quick overview of how to clean the Armorlite system in a little bit more detail. I hope that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm posting on my channel, and I hope to keep you guys enticed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up, give it a like for me, guys. And if you're interested, subscribe to the channel too. Sign up for notifications, that way you know when my next video is dropping. As always, guys, leave me any questions, comments, feedback on what you thought of this video. We are VictorVectorJKU, and we are taking on this build and the trails with both direction and magnitude. Alright guys, have a good one. Catch you next time.